We all have deeply personal stories to tell. Stories of our family that change the course of the rest of our destiny and the rest of our lives. Tonight, I'm going to share mine. But first, let me ask you, where do you think consciousness lives? It's a completely rhetorical question, but some people say it lives in the head. Some people say it lives in the heart. Some people say it lives in the body. Tonight, I promise you that I don't know. I'm not going to give you the answers, and I may, by the end of this speech, even give you more questions. See, I started to do this question and look for this answer when I was 23 years old. My mother went into the hospital to have a brain tumor removed. And while the surgery was successful, overnight, there were tragic complications. By morning, she had suffered a stroke. She was in a coma. The doctors declared her brain dead. They said she was unconscious. I tried every day when I visited her to sit by her hospital bed. I'd walk in. "Hi, Mom. How are you doing today?" The only way I knew that she was still alive was because the machine kept beeping. Beep, beep, beep. I kept trying. "Hi, Mom. How you doing today?" Beep, beep, beep. "Hi, Mom. How you doing today?" Beep, beep, beep. I was hopeless. One day, out of sheer frustration, I grabbed the book of Psalms that my mom had on her bedside table, the book that she read every single day, the book that I had never read. And I opened it up to a random page, and I started reading a psalm. And to my shock, my mom finished the psalm. It was like a bird had been let out of a cage. I tried another page. She finished the psalm. I couldn't believe it. I ran to the nurse's station. "My mom is conscious." She regained consciousness. The nurses brought the doctors into my mom's hospital room, checked her. Beep, beep, beep. I could see the pity in their eyes. I picked up the book of Psalms. I read. Beep, beep, beep. I could see one nurse looking at me as if to say, "The psych ward is on the 7th floor, dear." One doctor pulled me aside and he said, "Sometimes in our grief, we hear things that don't actually exist. We hope that we're hearing someone's consciousness, but we're not really." He assured me that I could not have heard my mother. But I didn't buy that. I knew what I heard. So I tried this little experiment. I went to my mom's house and I brought a box of books. See, my mom was a special needs teacher, so she carried this box of special books that she would take to the special kids. And I sat at my mother's hospital bed and I picked out one book, random, opened it up. I read, "The sun did not shine." And I heard, "It was too wet to play." So we sat in the house all that cold, cold, wet day. I knew it. I kept going page after page, book after book. And when we finally finished that book, I brought that box of books. I brought more books, my mom's favorites. And when we finished those books, we started having conversations. Not real conversations like this, but conversations in consciousness. Now I know, I get it. I'm not the first person to sit at the side of the hospital bed of a loved one and hope to hear consciousness. I'm not the first one to wonder where consciousness actually lives. And I'm not the last one to hear their child or their parent or their husband or their wife as they're dying, hear those words from them. As William James said, the reality that we perceive is just hiding with the filmiest of screens true consciousness. Funny, it took 9 months for my mom to give me life, and 9 more months for my mom to give me the meaning of life. My mom was showing me behind the screen. She was showing me where consciousness lives. She passed away quietly, gently, in the night, 8 days before my 24th birthday. But even after her death, she kept showing me behind the screen, with the flock of birds that flew overhead at her funeral, with the dove that sits on my windowsill, with my daughter who has memories of a life she never lived. So to answer the question, where does consciousness live? Now, I don't know the answer for everybody, but I know, at least for me, I may not know where consciousness lives, but I do know where to look for it.